There's a Buddhist couple that Hannah and I read about in the New York Times that have spent the last 10 years together in a celibate relationship, living in a 22-foot wide yurt in the Arizona desert. And this couple, this man and this woman, never go more than 15 feet from each other. Not only that, they eat off the same plate. When they read a book together, they wait till the slower reader finishes the page before turning it. They try to live in each other's consciousness. And we thought, we've been married. Here we've been married for 11 years.
We should do this as a stunt. Why don't we try it? I wasn't thinking like a journalistic stunt. I was really just saying, like, what if we spent the day 15 feet apart?
Maybe we could learn something about our relationship if we put ourselves through that same kind of discipline.
So before I knew it, it was a project.
We set out to live the 15-foot life for a day. You already dried your hair.
All right.
You don't have to dry it again.
Okay, let's go. Why do you have to know everything?
This couple that we read about stays 15 feet apart, and so I cut a piece of string, length of string that was 15 feet long, and used that to make sure that we were staying in the range the whole time.
Now, breakfast is a time when we would be doing separate things. Like often, when not pregnant, I would be out exercising. David would be reading the sports section. That was kind of denied to us. Excuse me. But at least it was like a peaceful machine. Let's say, like we both kind of made breakfast together and ate from the same bowl.
Well, you took all the cinnamon sugar.
All right, we'll go get some more. I have the child on my lap.
First of all, you're diabetic.
I'm not sure it rises to the level of consciousness sharing.
No, I actually felt that was a successful venture. That we had the shared oatmeal experience.
Okay.
You don't? You don't think we had the shared oatmeal experience?
We did.
Our kids were pretty cooperative. Our 7-year-old daughter actually functioned as a kind of lackey. Thanks, though. That makes life much easier. Do you want to come to work with us? Hannah came and worked in my office. There was one embarrassing moment, probably captured on film, when I came into the office and realized again that my colleagues had not replaced Fresca, my favorite soda, in the fridge. Wait, can I stop and get a soda?
Soda?
I'm going to stop and get soda. I drink a Fresca in the morning.
Ew.
If I can find one. Nobody put the stupid Frescas back in the...
Oh my God! This is the kind of prima donna where people have to put your sodas. It's like
if you finish the soda, you put it in. No, but it's like for the 87th time. The Frescas.
First of all, who drinks Fresca at 10 o'clock in the morning? I mean, we don't have to replay the whole scene, but you're like sweating with hot.
But that's because you're rebuking me. You're rebuking me about it. That here I am not being upset about the tragedy in Burma, but I'm irritated because they're not cold Frescas in the fridge. That's pretty embarrassing. You enter it knowing nothing about it, and so you assume it's like I'm getting into a rage because
you're right. I'm new to the Fresca.
You're new to the Fresca issue. It's not a Fresca issue. It's a soda issue, sweetie. Not just Fresca.
Sweetie, like in the office, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I can sweetie wherever I want.
If he has any path of domestic righteousness, it involves food. So the fact that he drinks some diet soda at 10 in the morning, I like to know that because that's, ammunition. To create the maximum possible proximity, I actually rearranged my desk so she could work at my desk. It was fine, except for the fact that when she types email addresses, she says them out loud. He is so high. That is just who would marry a person who reads email addresses out loud while they're typing them? That's just bizarre. She talks really loudly. Having her there just talking and talking and talking really loudly on her phone. That's called reporting because I'm a reporter, and so I'm talking to people on the phone, and that's my job, and I'm taking notes and setting up interviews and everything. Pretending I don't have to go to the bathroom. Oh, let's go to the bathroom. Hannah is pregnant, and so she has a bladder the size of a what would be the appropriate thing of a small plum. First of all, I did not go to the bathroom half the times that I needed to go to the bathroom because it's too much trouble. We'd get out the string. I'd stand right by the door, and she'd go in to wherever she was and make sure that the stall was within 15 feet of where I was, and then we'd be like, okay, this can go forward. This is not fulfilling the mandate of the project because I'm supposed to be sharing Hannah's consciousness, and right now I'm avoiding Hannah's consciousness. In the next life, you can carry the baby, and then you'll have to go to the bathroom all the time. We're not super private people, but we haven't reached the stage of the love toilet, which is this great Saturday Night Live skit from many years ago for the
the commode built for two.
The love toilet.
So we didn't reach the point where we're like, oh, let's go to the bathroom together, honey. It was an irritation. The hardest part, I think, is the recognition of the mundanity of your own life. It's all very well to have a mundane life when you're just living it yourself. You know, the fact that you want to go get up and Xerox something, the fact that you want to go grab another cup of coffee. And that's fine when you're doing it in your own mind. But when someone else is observing you doing it, you realize, what a waste. In the afternoon, we went over to the Atlantic Monthly, which is where she writes regularly, and she had a meeting with her editor.
That yin-yang was kind of necessary in the day because there was this sort of self-consciousness to being like the wife in the office. And so it was good that I can have the yang of like David just being the kind of, puppy dog, helpful editor in the room.
It was great. It was great to watch her try to sell her story, explain it, clarify it. It was inspiring and realized just how smart and appealing she is.
It was like, having your lovely, friendly spouse like along with you for the day is not actually the worst thing in the world.
After her meeting at the Atlantic Monthly, we went back to the Slate office, and it happened completely by chance that the day we were going to be together was the Champions League final between Manchester United and Chelsea.
It's like outrageous. I mean, not the fact that anyone was watching soccer, but the fact that everyone was watching soccer with no guilt.
That was where we see the failure of what our efforts, which is that in a better world, I would have tried to be paying attention to her work at that moment, or she would have been trying to pay attention to the soccer game, which I was invested in at that moment. But instead, we just were like, see you later. So that was a failure. We failed. I'm sorry. I began this completely as a stunt, as a kind of joke. What happened is that, one, it turned out to be really mundane a lot of the time, but it made us engage with each other's minds in a way we never would have done in the course of a normal marital day. The other surprising thing is that it takes away the ability to tell stories.
The what did you do today exchange, which is, theatrical and sort of artificial and packaged.
In which you're the hero, in which you've been wronged, in which you exaggerate your own importance.
Whatever is left in the marriage of a first date has that feel to it. It's like you are presenting yourself.
When Hannah's with me the whole day, it took it away. That when we came home at the end of the day, there was nothing to tell each other about because we'd seen the whole day together.
There was a kind of peace descends of like wordless communication about what had happened that day, and the sifting of the day did not need to happen because it had just happened naturally.
I wouldn't want to have to do it all the time. It would be incredibly annoying to have to live in someone else's mind all the time. But for a day, it was fun.